Look, I wrote a movie that wasn't really a great script. I wrote it because I had to hurry up because another movie I was going to direct, they took the money, half the money, and so I was like, shit. My DP, director of photography, was like, what do we do?
Right.
He goes, do you have anything written about your small town? And I was like, yeah, I got this like stupid thing I wrote. It was like the first script I wrote. And he read it, he goes, let's just do this. And we shot it for nothing in Indiana where I grew up. And I thought, I'll just break the ice. I'll sort of, I'll learn a lot from this.
Yeah.
And I did. But, after that, now the next thing I want to direct, or, I'm trying to write something that has more substance. I like horror movies, but I also like thrillers and documentaries. So I'm working on a couple things that I think have that weight to them. And I'm like, hey, this is good. You don't have to write the best thing ever. You just have to write something that's compelling, that you like the characters, you believe them.
Right.
And, so I'm just trying to take, my movie back in the day was a raunchy comedy. So I'm like, okay, that was step one. Step two now. Let's go to step two. A better script, better movie, and
you
work your way up.
Direct it, act on it, everything?
No, I'll never do that again. That was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done. It's just being in every scene and directing your first movie, and you're in your hometown, so all your friends are showing up to set.
Yeah.
I thought I would die.
Yeah.
There was a moment where I'm driving. Actually, my friend Tom and Deneen are my best friends. I hired them as associate producers and my assistants to help me. And we're driving in Indiana one morning. It's like 5:30 a.m. and I'm just like this in the back. I'm telling you, beyond another level of tired.
Yeah.
And my friend Deneen goes, it's going to be such a great day, blah, blah, blah. And she's looking straight ahead. She's in the passenger seat. Tom's driving. I'm in the back. And they go, all right, don't you feel great? And I just go, it took every bit of energy to say, I think I should go to the hospital. She's like, you're funny. But if she would have turned around and saw how tired I was.
Right.
I was living off like Ambien. I was like, I was on another level.
Yeah. And what about your acting career? Do you feel like that need of working constantly, or like, because you have so many creative outlets, right?
Yeah.
Your podcast, your band.
I was in love with acting for a long time, and I did it for so long, and I would always do favors for friends and this and that. And I'm sure I've asked my favors.
Right.
But I think I got to a point where I was like, I just need a break. I want to try something else. So I got into the podcast world, which I fell in love with. It took a long time. I was just talking to the guys about this, George, and telling them, even if you're a huge celebrity, you get a podcast, it's not a slam dunk.
Of course not. Yeah.
And you got to get people to listen. And how do you get people to listen? And nobody was listening to my fucking podcast in the beginning. I was going to quit 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And then I started to open up and be vulnerable and real and talk about mental health and self-deprecating and my dysfunctional life and family. And that's when people started to go, and I started to ask questions because I'm a fan. I was going to horror conventions before I was anybody. Right. So I would ask them, like, James Gunn, who's the head of DC. I just said, James, what's the difference between Marvel and DC? I mean, what is the difference? Like, questions that like people who don't really know a lot, or I don't want it to be like that people are beneath me. I want to ask questions that a fan would ask, someone who doesn't really know the business. Yeah. Someone who does know the business, but also get deep and personal and talk about, what are you doing for your mental health? Like, what do you do? How do you get anxiety? Well, what do you do with that? Do you take meds? Kristen Bell talks about that. She takes meds and I do. Yeah, you get and people just open up
and so many interesting people too.
I love it. It's just it's important. J.K. Simmons was on with his brother talking about how his brother almost killed himself a few times. Cool. And it was just like, it's not all so serious, but sometimes I get serious for a while. Right. And you never know where it's going to go.
So you're thinking now more like acting takes a backseat through your...
I'm starting to feel it again. I'm starting to feel like, okay, there's a project I wrote that the guy who's producing it said, would you want to act in this? I go, I want to sell this. I want to make this. And if the studio wants me to do it, I would act in it. I would play this part. I wrote it for me, but I don't have to. I could cater it towards anybody. Yeah. To anyone. So I don't care about that. I want to make cool things.
Want to have your own Rocky? You want to write and act? Get a good director?
That would be fun to try and write an underdog story. Because there's a lot of them, but
Right.
I wouldn't want to box because I'd have to get in shape. And I'm 50. It's too late. It's too late. Do I look 50?
No, you don't.
48.
Yeah, 49.
That's what I was going to say. I'm never going to turn 50, by the way. I'm going to be 40-10,
Right, you're not
40-11,
gonna be like Bobby Lee.
40-12, 40-13. Bobby Lee. How old is Bobby Lee?
50. He's turning 52.
Is he?
Yeah.
Terrible. No, he looks great.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you about this later, but since we're talking about him, how did you get involved with like kicking it old school?
Oh, boy. Kicking it old school. I was doing Smallville, and my good buddy Phil Glasser said, hey, there's this funny movie with Jamie Kennedy. This was years ago.
Right.
And I read the script, and I go, wow, this is kind of fun. Mm-hmm. Funny enough, the guy who was the director of photography
Yeah.
shot Rocky. He was the DP for Rocky. I think the DP. I think he was the DP.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I go, you know what? It's my off time. I'm bald. I'm bald all the time. I'll get some fuzz on my hair, on my head, on my hair, and I'll do it. It'll be fun. And the movie didn't do well.
Yeah.
But it also didn't look great. That's the problem. To me, it just looked like shit.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean,
It looked like
said,
whoa! It looked like it was whoosh, you know. And I don't know what maybe the budget was too low, but we had a great time. There were some funny moments. But I was joking with Jamie Kennedy. I told him this. I was on set. I always tell the story because it's funny. But Miguel Nunez, we're talking. I go, Jamie's on set. And I go, hey, Jamie, I'm never doing another Jamie Kennedy movie.
Right.
And Miguel Nunez goes, man, Jamie Kennedy never doing another Jamie Kennedy movie.
Right.
And I always thought that was funny.
Uh-huh.
But it was a passion project for him, and good for him for making it. Look, it's hard. If something fails, you shouldn't look at it as a complete failure because you got it made.
Yeah.
Because most movies don't get made.
Yeah.
So it is a success
Yeah, I
story.
try not to be very critical, even with the movies that I don't like, because I
I'm
know
critical.
how hard it is to make it. And it's so
hard, but like there's so many bad movies.
It's like
really bad.
Most of them, especially today, is like,
As long as something's enjoyable,
Yeah.
I'm okay. If there's a couple of really funny moments, I'm cool.
Right.
But if you watch a horror movie, and here's the problem, there's got to be something wrong with Rotten Tomatoes. I think the studio, there's something going on.
there's inflation in the
No, because like they're like 95%.
I know.
And all this, and you're like watching this, and you're like, and then the audience score is 47%.
Yeah.
It tells you a lot.
It happens all the time.
Happens all the
I don't look at them anymore because like
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, I wrote down some quotes
from Rocky.
from Rocky.
Okay.
And also why it works is because like those underdog stories I was telling you about, like movies like Invincible with Marky Mark, the football story,
Yes.
Mark Wahlberg.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, Wahlberg makes a lot of good movies. He's made some shit, but that guy's made some good.
He can do both.
Boogie Nights, Invincible, Shooter,
The Departed.
The Departed. I mean,
Right.
Was he in The Departed?
Yeah. He has
He's great.
brilliant.
People love watching him. I love watching him.
Yeah, but he also has the other.
But then The Happening.
Yeah,
You ever see
yeah.
The Happening?
And that's a Shyamalan movie.
Oh boy.
That's
It
what
was
I'm saying. Like it gets so complicated. It's like, okay, and people are gonna be scared of plants. Like he wants to, and he's a great director, but that's too much.
It's funny. After that
just too
movie,
big.
my friend was with me, and I go, "That was the worst." He goes, "No, I thought it was okay." I just smacked him. And he goes, "What the fuck?" I go, "No, you got it." I just went.
It is. It
You
is
get
a bad
smacked.
movie.
That was bad.
Yeah.
All right, the best quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the morning after a fight, you're like a large wound. You know what I mean? Sometimes I got pains all over me. I feel like calling a taxi to take me from bed into the bathroom. Cut me, Mick. If I change, you can change. Everybody can change. That's from, I think, Rocky 4. What do I owe you, Paulie? What do I owe? Oh, wait. Oh, that's her. Remember when she goes, what do I owe you, Paulie? What do I owe you? I treat you good. I cook for you. I clean for you. I pick up, and you made me feel like a loser. I'm not a loser. I love that fucking
I mean,
thing.
she's great. She's Talia Shire, right?
Talia Shire.
She was on The Godfather like a few years before that. Nominated for an Oscar.
great.
Nominated here too.
You know what the best quote in that is?
What?
When he walks the young girl who's smoking.
Yeah.
Makes you bad, makes your breath stink. Get that out of here. And he starts pontificating and like, this, man, you want to do this. And he takes her, walks over and goes, hey, Rock. He goes, yeah. He goes, Screw you,
Yeah.
creepo. And then he walks off. And the best thing is the music kind of plays sad music. And he goes, yeah, she's right. What do I know about it? Talking
Right.
to himself as he walks away like this loser. It's stuff like that that makes that movie so good.